Star Wars fans, it's not clickbait. I truly believe Lucasfilm is about to do something that fans might find more divisive than even The Last Jedi. Everybody get ready to say bye-bye to Baby Yoda. What's up, everybody? It's Josh. Welcome back to the channel. Smash that like button. And we wanted to let people know that very soon we're going to be dropping multiple videos a day. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, you're going to want to do that, or you will absolutely miss some of the videos. So in episode 3 of season 2 of Star Wars The Mandalorian, Bo-Katan was revealed, and she gives Din Djarin the location of a Jedi, Ahsoka. Now, of course, this is amazing. All of us are super hyped that Ahsoka was name dropped. We know now that she'll be in the show. That's really cool. There's been speculation about that, but I think most Star Wars fans just kind of ignored the reality that could present itself, in which Din Djarin finds Ahsoka and literally gives Baby Yoda to her. I think most of us are like, there's no way that's going to happen. Of course, Baby Yoda is going to end up back with Din Djarin. It's The Mandalorian. It's Mando and Baby Yoda. That's what the whole show's about. But I'm here to tell you, Star Wars fans, I've thought long and hard about this. I've looked into comments made by Lucasfilm employees. I've researched what is likely happening behind the scenes, and I've just used some deductive reasoning on reasons why I think they will do this. And I'm here to tell you, I am now almost 100% convinced that Baby Yoda will leave Din Djarin, will leave the show of The Mandalorian, and will instead be with Ahsoka in her spin-off show. The first piece of evidence is almost all the evidence you really need once you start to think about it. And again, I've been going over this a lot, really thinking about it, and it's kind of obvious. It's actually right in front of all of our faces, because it's 100% the case and really obvious when you think about it that the best way Disney can get fans of The Mandalorian to go check out the Ahsoka show is to put Baby Yoda into that show. We need to face facts, guys. Baby Yoda is like crack to the normie Star Wars fans. They absolutely love him. That is the main reason that a lot of normies tune into the show. Also obvious, and would stand to reason, that Lucasfilm's biggest concern with doing this suite of shows and spinning out and doing an Ahsoka show in general is that it won't connect with normies, that the mainstream audience, the wide, broad audience won't accept Ahsoka and won't tune into that show. I think, even though that fear is irrational, it exists for Lucasfilm, and it's actually the reason we haven't got live action Ahsoka up to this point. I think most people over there, and a lot of people on the board of directors for Lucasfilm and Disney, are probably like, yeah, but this is an animated character. It doesn't matter how much people like it. It's an animated character. It's going to be a hard sell to get normies to go check out this animated character, because you see the Filoniverse in this wide suite of shows in this big interconnected universe. It's literally dead on arrival if the first spin-off show, or one of the most important spin-off shows from The Mandalorian, isn't a success. Of course, Lucasfilm would want to hedge their bets and put Baby Yoda into that show. But there's actually even more evidence, and I know you're probably panicking, you're probably sweating. It's okay. We're going to talk about why I think this is actually going to be totally okay and perfect for all parties involved, but we'll get to that at the end of the video. Another piece of evidence that I want to talk about is how this change, this massive change about halfway through the season, has been talked about by a lot of different people. Most notably, Grace Randolph, when she initially ran the story about Pedro Pascal having the drama behind the scenes, she put forward that as a big piece of evidence for this fact being real, you will see a massive shift in tone about halfway through the season of The Mandalorian season 2. Now, since she came out with that report, some other people have come out and said, no, that's not exactly true. The Pedro thing happened, but it happened a long time ago. It has been resolved, and the change in pace halfway through the season was always going to be there, which is really interesting. They're not saying it has anything to do with Pedro, but they're not denying that it is going to happen, and they're saying that it was always a part of the plan. Now, to me, I had always thought that the Filoniverse was clearly going to be a big part of the plan. With Dave Filoni taking episode 5, we think that's when we'll see Ahsoka, Ezra Bridger, all of these different characters. We're going to open up into the Filoniverse. But couldn't this also refer to the fact that Baby Yoda's not going to be in the back half of this entire season? I mean, that's crazy, right? But think about this. It also makes sense as a way to connect Moff Gideon to whatever's going on with Ahsoka and the rest of the cast over there with the Ghost crew. Because up until now, we're like, how's this all going to work together? Well, maybe Moff Gideon is still looking for the child. Din Djarin leaves the child with Ahsoka, but then goes to try to fight against Moff Gideon and take him out. But Moff is still looking for Baby Yoda, still sending people out trying to get Baby Yoda. Now, if you recall, there was a big time Entertainment Weekly article where Jon Favreau made some comments that sort of made people believe that this change halfway through the season was absolutely going to be real. I mean, Favreau literally mentions the back half of the season being much different. He talks about how the show should evolve like Game of Thrones. And one of the things he mentions that he loves in Game of Thrones so much is how all the characters that start together in season 1 separate, go their different ways, have crazy adventures, and then all eventually link back up. Now, at the time, we had assumed he was talking about within the show. He literally was talking about how maybe we're going to follow different characters within the Mandalorian show that are going off in their own different directions and doing the Game of Thrones thing. But now that I really think about it, he's likely referring to the Filoniverse. He's likely referring to the suite of shows and not just the Mandalorian, but because nobody knows about it yet, he's just talking about it within the context of the Mandalorian show. And so the more you really start to think about this, the more it makes sense that Baby Yoda is likely going to leave with Ahsoka. The back half of the season will be very different. We'll follow Baby Yoda's training with Ahsoka, Ezra Bridger, and others. It'll be awesome. We'll all be really excited to see it. And then maybe they'll all link up again to finally take out Moff Gideon on Mandalore. Now, another reason that I think this is going to happen is because of Mr. Kevin Feige, because Kevin Feige is already over at Lucasfilm helping them make big decisions. And there are some things that I know he was involved with that I'm actually not at liberty to talk about, but all I can really say is that he's really bringing in that Marvel mentality. And if you look at some of the things going on with Lucasfilm lately, where it's like, okay, obviously people like Boba Fett, why wouldn't you have Boba Fett in live action? Or like, obviously people like Ahsoka, why wouldn't you have Ahsoka, right? Everybody loves Revan, why wouldn't you have Revan's lightsabers, etc., etc. These are moves that Feige makes over at Marvel because he understands what fans want and he understands how to deliver that to them in a cool, satisfying way that's really elevated and all connected, right? And so we're seeing that attitude going on over at Lucasfilm. But what did Feige do with his most valuable asset for the MCU? And that would be Iron Man. He put him all over the universe. Not only does he literally pop up in different films, but his name and presence is all over the universe. And so taking that model of Iron Man and applying it to the model of Baby Yoda, it just makes complete and total sense. That's your big asset. Of course, you are going to leverage that asset to build the connective tissue and to help guide audiences through these separate shows. And then the final reason that I believe this is just that it is what will probably happen if we just look at the story. I mean, Djin is literally trying to find a Jedi to bring the child back to. The child is in his care. He obviously cares about the kid, but he can't raise the kid. He can't teach the kid about the Force. Obviously, he's seeking out Jedi. He's mandated to seek out Jedi. So even if he had an attachment to it, he's so honorable that he would follow that and leave Baby Yoda with Ahsoka either way. I mean, literally, guys, when you really start to think about it, all the writing is on the wall. I think it's time for us to get ready. It's bye-bye Baby Yoda when it comes to The Mandalorian. Now let's shout out Mad Viola 183. Yes, indeed, it was Olmec that was the puppet leader of Mandalore under Maul. And now let's ask another nerd card question before we get out of here. I want to know, what is the name of the male Mandalorian that fights beside Bo-Katan in episode 3? If you like this video, make sure you drop a like on it. And again, if you're not subscribed to this channel, you are definitely going to miss videos because we're going to be doing multiple videos a day. So make sure you are subscribed. If you enjoy the content over here, you will absolutely love the live streams we do straight from Nerd Ventures Tower Monday through Friday starting at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.